Thank you so much for sticking with us here on NBC 23 News. Today we have our good friend Tom Castaneda with South Texas Health Systems to talk about the show that you can catch here on NBC 23. So Tom, what would this week's show be about?
Well, this month we are focusing on limb loss. Now, it is no secret that the Rio Grande Valley is a hotbed for diabetes and vascular diseases like peripheral artery disease, which, if left untreated, can lead to serious health complications, including limb loss. So we are going to be talking about amputation prevention this month, and it is a serious issue. Obviously, when you are dealing with conditions like diabetes, if you aren't treating them, it's really important to make sure that you are doing everything you can to prevent limb loss. Limb loss can lead to serious issues, including things like when it comes to limb loss, your mortality rate actually, your life expectancy is 3 years shortened because of that when it comes to that. So within 3 years, anyone who's had a major amputation ends up within 3 years they die. So it's really important to pay attention when it comes to limb loss. So we sit down with the medical director of the South Texas Health System Wound Healing Center to learn more about the common symptoms when it comes to limb issues that you may be dealing with, as well as the risk factors, who is at great risk, and we also talk about some prevention tips.
Also, with those tips, what are those prevention tips? Like, how can people keep in mind of what they can do so that way they don't have to suffer from something like this?
Yeah, so we'll go through some great tips. We're going to be talking about how to manage chronic conditions, how to eat well, diet and exercise play a big role, as well as avoiding smoking. Smoking is a serious issue when it comes to dealing with your vascular health, and so we're going to be talking about that.
And you also interviewed someone who's suffered with limb loss. You have a personal story.
That's right. We always include a patient testimonial. So we sit down with a 64-year-old retired college professor who tells us about her issues with diabetes. She dealt with diabetes for 20 years and was managing it just fine. And then 5 years ago started dealing with circulation issues, and she noticed discoloration in her big toe. That's how she first noticed that she was having some issues, and she's had to undergo more than a handful of procedures to save her leg. So she has managed to save her leg. So we talked to her about what she's had to do to maintain her limb health, as well as her advice for others when it comes to making sure that you prevent amputation.
Absolutely. And do you go into more detail about how exercise can help with limb loss?
That's right. Exercise and diet are the two best things that you can do for your health, including your limb health and making sure that you have great circulation. So we actually work with our dietary department at STHS McAllen, as well as our rehab team over at the STHS Edinburgh Outpatient Rehab Center to go over some great diet and exercise tips.
Very good. All right, so just one more time, what time will this be airing? Where can people go and how can people catch it?
That's right. So this is airing this Sunday, October 26th at 9 a.m. right here on NBC 23. So all you have to do is wake up early on Sunday morning, turn on the TV. You're going to be watching it right here.
Very good. It's going to be very educational because, like you said, diabetes is very well known here in our region. So those who really know somebody or may be going through this is something to tune into.
That's right. We want to prevent limb loss. It can lead to that serious risk of death within 3 years, especially if it's a major amputation. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect our limb health.
Absolutely. Tom, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning and giving us the details on your special. We look forward to watching it as well, too.